calling XIAO Junyi for Last Judgment. It's a quite unique film, mixing strong graphic style and
Yes.
kind of a political also.
Do you think it's political?
Don't you think?
Actually, I don't want people to think it's too political.
Why?
Because if you think it's about political, so this film is just a political film, so you can think outside the box. So if you don't know nothing about the Cultural Revolution in China, I think you can put different things in this film, and you can figure out some different things instead of just boring political. Yeah.
That's why actually I said graphic, visual, and political, the both of them.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's not one or the other, it's
Yeah.
the two, and it's rare. Sometimes when you do political film, they don't care about, the visual. But in your case, and that actually was my first question, did the visual came first or the story?
Actually, the visual come first. Yeah, if you watch the film, the first scene of this film is about a lot of people standing at the top of these scenes and they waving the flags, and then very small guy lie on the ground. So I draw this image for one of my class assignments. And then when I finish it, I see this image and I think, wow, it's pretty cool. I should make a film about it. And then just come out of this whole film. Yeah.
Okay, so first that, how did you wrote the story? Actually, how did you make this film, How did you wrote the story? Because you said it's not political, so it was about what?
I mean, the background is kind of, based on China's Cultural Revolution, if you know something about it. But actually, I changed the color. I didn't use the
red.
Green and red. I didn't use the red flag or something like that. But I just want to make it looks good, and I just want people who don't know the Cultural Revolution, they can think it's maybe about the group violence. Maybe it's both physically or mentally, both in the real life or maybe in the internet or something else. So, yeah.
Because when I say political, it was not Chinese political.
Yeah.
It was, again, to say something about, like you say, a group.
Yeah.
Somebody will be crushed by something, by a power. So,
Yeah.
so it's kind of a political in that way, no?
Yes. Yeah, if you define political in that way, I think it's totally a political film.
Are you afraid because you're coming from China and people
Yeah.
saying it's political? Because, of course, when we hear about China, it's a lot about economic, political, and not much maybe about art. Well, not as much as we should talk.
I mean, nowadays, the situation is kind of better now. We can talk this kind of I think themes. We can talk about Cultural Revolution. We can talk. But still, some people think you guys are too young, too naive. And, if you make a story about the political things, you'll make it looks very simple and, have no depth. But I think it's totally okay because, maybe my film was kind of simple, but at least I have my voice. Maybe some other directors can make some film very deep, and I think those different kind of voice come together. They can make, the situation become
A difference.
Yeah, different.
You came from University of Southern California.
Yes.
It's again, I ask the question a lot, but there is an animation department in this university.
Yeah, we have an animation division in the film school. The film school in USA I think, is the best film school in US, and maybe one of the best film school in US. Yeah, and the animation department I study in is the math department, and we have a 3 years program. And the professors in USC come from totally different areas. Some of them are experimental animators. Some of them are very traditional Disney animators, and some of them do CG. So it's kind of have a very strong diversity in that department. Yeah.
Did you begin in China working on animation, or did you come from?
Yes,
Yeah?
actually, I came to NSC 2 years ago when I finished my undergraduate film in China. Yeah.
And you were in competition? No.
Yeah, in competition.
Then after that, you went to
Yeah,
United
after that
States?
I went to United States, and this is my second year film. Yeah.
And you want to go back after that to China? You want to stay, or you don't know right now?
I still don't know right now because I still have one more year. You know, I have to do my real graduate film in US, and maybe I'll stay in US for maybe 1-2 years and go back to China, because nowadays China, the animation industry in China is developing. So you know, everyone knows that China has a very large film market. You know, China has a lot of audience because the population in China is huge. You know, so the potential in China is kind of large, and the industry in American is, to me, is well developed. So you know, as a foreigner in American, I think it's hard to be, make yourself, yeah.
What is interesting in China is there's a lot of students going abroad in other countries, Europe, United States.
Yeah.
And when they go back to China, they actually try to bring what they learned in every country. And finally, there is a huge diversity going on now in China.
Yeah.
Short film, TV series, hopefully feature film.
Yeah.
So it's quite interesting to be in China for animation now.
Yeah.
I just wondered I've just seen the image there, I haven't seen the film. I just wondered what software you used, and what software you like to use for your films.
For this film, it's kind of complex. I do some of the animation in Flash, and the process is, very complex. I just, print some of the image out and do some pencil texture on paper and use Dragon Frame to, to make it as a image sequence, and then use a lot of Adobe suits to make the whole film.
Right, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.